everybody, and here we are with another video in the IELTS Learning Tips series. My name is Bernie Wall, and if you don't know me, I'm an IELTS trainer specialising in working with students who need bands 7 and 8. And in particular, I work a lot with students who've taken the test more than once, sometimes quite a lot of times, and support them in making sure they get the test the next time they take it. So that's the kind of work I do. And today I want to talk about an old chestnut, and that is reading. It's going to be a very short video because it's really just a reminder about the things you need to do in order to be successful at the reading. Before we get started on that, I just want to remind you how you can keep in touch with me, either using my website, which is IELTSlearningtips.com, and there is a link below, or joining my Facebook group where we also have some interaction as well as more advice and tips on doing the IELTS. And you'll find both of those links below. So the Facebook group is IELTS Band 7 Success Network Techniques and Strategies. But you'll find a link below. So I have prepared a short presentation, which I'll share with you now. Just bear with me a minute, because I haven't actually set it up as a slideshow, which I need to do first. Okay, that's better. Right, let's try again. So I'll share that with you, and then I just want to say a few words about reading and how you can conquer the reading test. I get more questions and comments and requests for help on reading than anything else, and I think it's causing a problem still. And one thing that I hear all the time and I see all the time is people saying, I don't like reading, I don't enjoy reading, it's boring, I never do reading. And of course, all of these things are not going to help, because in order to do reading, you need to read. And if you don't read, then I'm sorry, but with the best will in the world, you're not going to be able to tackle the reading. You have to do it. There is no choice. So having said that, let's move on. So these are the tools you need for IELTS reading if you are serious about getting your band 7 and 8. You need to have a really good level of English. That means very wide vocabulary, a good knowledge of grammar and sentence structure, because all of these things are really important when you are looking for the answers in the reading text. Secondly, you need great techniques in skimming, scanning, and choosing and locating keywords. And you need to be able to do these things quite quickly. And that takes practice. So firstly, you need to acquire them, then you need to practice to make them faster and more accurate. And then you need to practice to get all of these things up to speed so that you can do all of the passages in the time allocated and get most of the answers correct. And if you're doing general training, that's even more important, because you can't afford to make many mistakes at all. And of course, you need to read. The more you read, the more you'll be exposed to new vocabulary, the more you will learn that new vocabulary, and the more you will be exposed to grammar and sentence structure, and the more you will absorb that sentence structure and grammar, and that will all help you with the reading. And it will also help you with the other parts of the IELTS as well, especially the writing. So if you read, it's going to be good for all of IELTS as well as the reading test. And don't force yourself to read War and Peace or Charles Dickens. All you need to do is just set aside maybe 15 minutes a day and just read a little bit of a newspaper or read a little bit of a journal. But, you know, be systematic and try and do it regularly. Okay, So you cannot do it without reading. And the students I work with who do the best in IELTS are students who have a reading habit. And I don't mean in English necessarily, they have a good reading habit in their own language, and that helps as well. Right, some students do try and go into the IELTS without really preparing because they don't like reading, they find it boring. And this is foolish. It's really foolish. Some people only watch YouTube videos. Now, I have nothing against YouTube. I'm on YouTube. This is YouTube. And it is a very good medium for teaching. But it is teaching. It is information. It is showing. It is not doing. And it is not enough. You have to take what you see on the YouTube videos and then you have to put it into practice and actually do it. It's about the techniques. If you don't practice, you're not going to be able to use those techniques because the techniques cannot be useful to you unless you actually do them. And these students that I'm referring to here, they just hope that it's enough to know about it. But it isn't, because English is a practical skill. IELTS is a practical skill. So you have to practice. So it is rather like trying to drive a car from a diagram or swim on a beach never having gone in the sea. It's rather crazy. Okay, so you can only do it and improve. You cannot know about it and improve. You need to take action now. You need to try, do a reading test. Forget about it being boring. It's only boring because you're not good at it. Once you're good at it, it's no longer boring, believe me. You'll fail. You might only get a few questions correct. Then you think about it. Why did I get them wrong? Work out the mistakes by trying again. Take more action, and then gradually you'll get it right. And the more you get right, the better your confidence, the more you will be willing to do it, happy to do it, until in the end you'll probably enjoy it. Okay? So whenever you make a mistake, it is a good thing because you learn from it. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. If you don't do the reading, you don't make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't learn. If you don't learn, you don't improve. If you don't improve, you don't get a higher score. So you can see where I'm going with this. It's a vicious circle. So you have to do it, fail, learn, improve, do it, fail, learn, improve until you get to where you want to be. And it can be a long process, but if you don't do it, you're never going to get there. Okay. So get help. There are lots of groups out there where you can get help. I really enjoy the reading. It's my favorite bit to do, and my favorite bit to teach. And one of the things I love is when I work on reading with students, they go from being scared or hating it to actually enjoying it, and they can't wait until they do their next reading test. But unless you practice it and unless you do it, then nothing's going to change. So get out a reading today, try it, see how you get on, learn from your mistakes, and then just keep going and you will be fine. And here are the links I promised you before, and they should be on the page so you can just click through. So my Facebook group and my free resources. So I hope that's helpful, but for goodness sake, if you really want to conquer the reading, you have to do it. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.